to get that result at Sogakope against House of Folk, maybe to boost their confidence in the subsequent games or many opportunity about in the Ghana Premier League. They have some quality squad. Saka, one of the best players in the team, right from day one, making sure the presence is very important. So I think gradually, normal warming yourself back into the second round. And House of Folk, Bibian say, I think they are still picking up, and we are sure that as time goes on, the team will come good more.
Yeah, we'll talk about how just a bit. Let's jump to Asante Kotoko Mutala, and for them, they're struggling against the relegation threatened sides.
They didn't start the second round that well. I mean, just one win from 3 games, not good enough. That defeat to Heart of Lions seemed to have done more damage to the Porcupine Warriors. I think that the Kotoko team is a bit light, especially in midfield with the absence of Sharif Mohammed Sr. because he was pivotal to everything that Kotoko did, especially controlling games. I don't think the two Jamanes are up for the task, and sometimes it is too easy to play through the Asante Kotoko midfield. It has opened them up, and teams have found out that okay, Kotoko's greatest strength that used to be Sharif Mohammed is no longer there. So then they come up and
but you can see changes under Ouattara. Yawa Mankwabe, if you replacing Michael Ampedu, but he maintained, Dennis Kosa and of course Winimi and Kofi Agusima because Kelvin Osiesibe and then kind of say David Opwaprane are injured. And Jubo say no
2 passes and it goes to Hamza Issa or Kasim Cisse. They don't waste time on the ball as they used to do in the first round. And also adding Salim Adams. Dan Mekacho say Salim's inclusion in the team is very important for them because Hartlepool some time back, as we always say, they lacked a natural number 8, someone that is a ball progressor, someone that can take the ball and progress. A lot of number 6. I mean, Gledu Tanga, Eric Esau, their captain, their former captain Abdul Aziz Nuridi. They didn't have that number 8. So Salim coming in brings them that stability in there. He is able to take the ball and progress with it. Once Salim gets the ball, you know that Linda Mtange, the likes of Salif Ibrahim will make rounds. And yeah, I would say this. Some of the biggest beneficiary of Abubakar Rate's reign at Hasselhoff have to be the French players like Linda Mtamge. It got to a point, it looks like Linda was fading away, even though he started.
He's revived them,
yeah. He's revived them. And Cisse seemed to be enjoying his life at Hasselhoff under coach Abubakar Rate.
Ouattara speaks Tree, speaks French, speaks English. He knows the way around.
He knows the Ghanaian terrain.
Spent some time in Kumasi, knows the psychology and the football politics, which would help any coach. So he's not really a foreign coach per se.
He knows the right thing to say to the media as well.
Right. Yeah. He's a football politician in a not in a negative way. But he's sending on the players, Becca. So he's sending on the fans and management. So he seems quite comfortable. I settled them. But for Hearts, it's about closing the gap and taking their chances. I'm not a big fan of dwelling too much on stats at midway point because at the end of the day, it's how these stats would actually help the champions or those who will be relegated. But for the benefit of what we're looking at in terms of the game, these may provide us some idea of where the GPL is going. Is it too early though to point out potential relegation bound teams? And I am on chance. I'm on time, Kaka.
I think, Udu and Ifema, you can see it. Like some teams will battle to survive in the Ghana Premier League. Teams like Bokwa Kwatano is one of them. Butmabo Mudin. A team like, Bandu House of Lions is still there. You can mention their name. And of course, when you look at the rest of the teams, they will have to fight for those kind of positions to survive in the Ghana Premier League. The points build up, teams now from the 11th spot to the last spot, and it looks like Eben Bang. So any team can survive, any team can escape. Out to you especially, I doubt they might survive in the Ghana Premier League. When I look at their strengths, the kind of things that air cost within the team, I doubt a team like Out to you will survive. Karela team look more matured and also more performance. And I look the team more compared to the rest of the teams are more prefer. So they are one of them. Baby any Gold Stars, one of the teams are more great squad depth. Airborne with an experienced coach like from Paul Manson. Also, I think they will survive. So when I look at the team from number 11 spot to now, Dreams will survive. Baby any Gold Stars will survive. Karela will survive. But between Out2U, Bofo, House of Lions, Accra Lions, and Legon Cities, out of these 5. Emutere will go to relegation.
I look at the table. I mean, the second half of the table, and I thought the Heart of Lions were gunners in the first round, but with Bashir Hayford at the helm of affairs and with how they've managed to win some games, and also the most important thing for Heart of Lions is getting back to the Kpando Stadium.
Yep.
I mean, that is a fortress. It has always been the fortress, and we've seen them win games there. So if they are able to pick up wins, maximum wins at home, it means they can survive. And I'm not writing them. I'm not writing this past them because they have a very experienced manager in Bashir Hayford who has even gone on to win the Ghana Premier League before. I think before Kwatano, they started brilliantly, but they fell off. It will be difficult for them to survive if they don't start picking points at home. Their home, which looked like a slaughterhouse when they started the Premier League, has lost that invincibility.
And after the ban,
they've not been the same. With their coach Frimpong Manso trading places to Gold Stars now, but for Aqua have a lot to do to be able to survive in this league.
Well, I mean, they'll be encouraged with the performance against Hearts of Oak, who are flying at the moment. At least they'll be thinking, okay, if we can hold Hearts away, if we go home, let's try and get 3 points. This could be the momentum they're looking for.
And maybe one person if Bofuko relegation, I bear me because I believe when we have most traditional teams in the Ghana Premier League, Eboa in getting a lot of supporters
and
when it comes to home games.
United.
We want to see more people entering into our various stadiums to watch the Ghana Premier League. And only maybe I say started the Premier League, the first 5-6 games of Bofuko, especially say the atmosphere, the kind of fans behind them, and how we prepare ahead of the crucial game. Start times were there on several occasions. I remember their game against House of Folk and of course their game against RTU. The stadium was full to capacity, even though that game was played on Friday and Saturday respectively. And not going at the traditional day like Sunday, Ghana Premier League. No, we saw a lot of people going to the Coronation Park to watch Bofuko because it's been a long time. I who say Bofuko in the Ghana Premier League.
And unfortunately, on and off the field issues and affect you.
I think that is what I affected Bofu team now. Free outside playing away from home and back to Bofu. The team has not been the same. And Frimpong Manso was changing, so really affected.
I think it was the hooliganism that caused them. I know. I'm sure they've learned their lessons from that. But you need to start winning games here at the Sunyani Coronation Park. Ghana Premier League, if you can win 90% of your home games, you have that surety that you remain in the league. It's not easy to go away and win games. That is why Bofuko, it will take a miracle for them to survive.
Now, actually, what is the excuse? Because, information available is that they had really solid backing, from the vice president and other gurus, the big boys,
I don't think
locally and outside. What again do you need?
I don't think that thing is working again in RT.
But again,
just last week, before their game, Amokobo against Kpando Lions, Midin Komoko Tamale Accra. Omobas essay, and it's Tamale Mazi. So the Oko Tamale. Now in the story, no. They were struggling to raise 2,300 to go for their bus. That is one.
Ghana cities.
Yeah. Ghana City. Almost estimate traveling from Tamale to Kpando, in and out. Almost on best spending somewhere around 17,000 Ghana City. Nobody was there to come there, but to survive it. Any races as a Canadian out to you. So almost struggle, baby. Sometimes. But I don't think it's working for now. Out to
management.
I buy a little bit political. That is where you for say pride of the Northern region. We support them. We've been here since the 90s. But we know be in the position of power. Out to you take that
structure.
So the structure is a major problem. And in Jamaica, some of these clubs, almost free Premier League, are affected because traditional clubs naturally. A man stadium
would be a huge blow for them. That is why the people of the North are really angry about the situation that RTU find themselves in. That they modern football, this kind of year.
RTU should have networking. I mean, network. Ex-players network. They come, I know ex-players come together like Kotoko and Hearts. They have a way of supporting on a club. You have a board. You have management. You have big names that.
Yes, we we rely entitlement. We feel because there are so many big men, especially the politicians. So when I hear the pressure, so yes, they are from the north, so they should come and help RTU. That it doesn't work that way. The club should find ways of soliciting for fans. It is not always about relying on one big man in Accra to come and purchase a bus for you. Yes, structures at our clubs now. Every club is calling for big men. Oko United, big men. They should come and help the club. What is the club structure doing? What is the back?
That is why what are they doing? Baby in Ghana football, but now radio so TV so I me praise you a bit say. Dr. Kwame Chei, it's honor.
Of course.
And of course, Toby Afede. Now, century.
Randy Abbey is doing his own.
Doma Hene.
Or
what is a judge or 10 crime? None the team, what Doma,
no, what did the bottom football?
Randy Abbey. That's why I always respect some of these ESCO members on the seat. Or one customer bottom sika, week in, week out. And sometimes when a team is traveling from Bronga or the northern region to come and play a football game in the southern sector, a big budget is more than 20,000 Ghana cedis every week.
Of course.
Now, yeah,
how do you raise that
even the
money?
custodian of the Ashanti land, 024822, or the assessor football here, this kind of. So look at the
big boys,
the big men who have been who have been given the nod to lead the team. These are people who are wealthy enough, businessmen that can fund the team, because anybody football player will be free out to you and then more from Kwanebo. There are players from Accra who play for RTU.
In fact, their first goal scorer this particular season in the Ghana Premier League. Every year,
the cameraman.
Or a cameraman from Kumasi.
Yes. No, Osia Kaima RTU. You have to find accommodation for such player. You have to cater for the player, the well-being of the player. Because if a player is not mentally sound, forget. Only more about Ronaldinho, he will not deliver.
Hence the kind of structures like Pobiman kind of make sense long term.
Of course.
So whether or not Usumesi is there, whoever comes would inherit such structures for the club in the long term.
Yeah, now
all the House of Folk players are staying in
Pobiman.
Unrented
for security and for psychology and then preparation is the best. And this will take a huge burden off the players.
Of course.
You know, I mean, if there's sometimes players after the match, then family members start to call them.
And it's even good that you as you speak to some of the club owners. I be fear and they say, oh, if I'm going to spend about $3 million to put up a huge edifice, I'll put them in a hotel and keep paying. Or calculate here at the end of every year the amount of money that goes into accommodating players in hotel and guest houses. It's more than the Castle. Now see what it will help you. That is why I was happy when Kotoko moved players from the sports hotel to some an apartment that
they were paying 200 Ghana cedi a day.
A day.
And look, it's on an artist on
Abasa. And see, I mean, it is brilliant as I put my project now to be here. I think it would be it is a monumental project in the issue of art of folk, and every administration they should give him his flowers for doing this project.
Legacy. And you know, we're talking about legacy now. And run a news by said Tom Vernon, after 25 years at the helm of, you know, transforming what was just your friend saying an idea, a concept, you know, he's taking a back seat. He'll still be involved, but at the forefront, you know, among other people. But what he's done in that time, from taking a loan of 200,000 Ghana cedis.
For 25 years, you've been running an academy in Ghana, and it becomes one of the biggest in Africa.
The world. And now it's the right to dream is worth over $100 million US dollars.
And on a pioneer discuss it on Sports Park on 89.7, 9 to 12 every day, Monday to Friday. So Ghana Football Academy on Bessa Moti. One of the right people I say contact your Tom in helping his Tom.
Absolutely.
Obama
in
the
enter to the Blasters.
I used to work for Right to Dream as a communicator for about 2 or 3 years. And one thing Tom he does all the time, all his guys together. Not Oma brainstorming. Everybody should bring his ideas. Or you'll be a communication, he doesn't joke with it. And at times in Sobe Vanishe, he could be traveling all over the place, but Obape, then he's on the ground. And he's really, I mean, I, for example, need to say thank you to Tom, opening doors. I learned a lot from him. And I think the grassroots concept now, or not yet, that's where he wants to start.
Grassroots.
It's worked. And Kudus is just one of many. Scholarships. The
last time Harry Asante, the communications director for GFA, said, now if you look at the core of the Black Stars, it is made up of players from Right to Dream Academy. And you can't deny that fact.
Mutala, not just the Black Stars. There are teams that didn't qualify for the AFCON. Right to Dream, they can trace. Shea Adingra is one of them.
Simon Adingra of Ivory Coast.
And there are other players in other countries that almost trace some rules to right.
Because what he's done is brilliant.
Right to Dream footprints, the fingerprints, Egypt. The academy is there. Nordjylland is an offset of Right to Dream. The mindset
and we even have Ghanaian coaches around that.
Right. Launch. I went there with Derek Boate, Michael Essien, Liverpool defender Jimmy Traore, others. And he's bringing all these guys together. Now San Diego, near the border between the US and Mexico, he's going to tap into those your friend is saying, you know, so it was fantastic.
Come on here, Premier League time.
Oh yeah. Let's go back. And of course, Unim said all this when you talk about networking. So IMAX Media is always at the right place at the right time. Techno, and of course my chairman, Mr. Max Otechi. So networking. Yeah, you know, well done to Tom Vernon, and hopefully, as Mutala is saying, the FA would say, Tom, show us how it's done. And Tom might even say it's a made for free, on consultation fee at all. Anyway, all right, let's go through the midweek fixtures, guys, and see what's coming up today and tomorrow before we jump onto the weekend. Big matches. Just to remind you, enumerate Asante Kotoko, so Omode Accra Lions. So that it is. Great Olympics kicking off in about 30 minutes against Karela United. A very interesting game up at hand. Recum Chelsea versus Adriana. Big game there as well. Samatex host in Swatraman. And on Thursday, Tano, as we said, will take on Heart of Lions. 6-pointer, relegation threatened teams. It's going to be a hot game there. Legon Cities host Nations. Bidiama entertain Bicham. RTU host Gold Stars. And Dreams versus Hearts of Oak would be on start times at 6 o'clock. And also a numeric kickoff. Lovely fixtures, guys.
Interesting games, mouth-watering games. Dreams, Hearts of Oak. I know you're the better on chain for now.
There are a couple of 6 pointers or relegation for.
Of course, Omomoda relegation.
RTU
Karela, like this, and the game number, but it's very important to them because they lie precariously above the relegation zone. They will need to move further away from the relegation zone. Samatex, for instance, I think in their last, the second round, Omolusu, 2 games, which is not good for them because in the first round,
home game.
including a home game against Nations FC, in the first round they made an nice Pack a fortress. So I mean they are marching towards the title. We as Samatex are likely to win in T if they fall off a bit how more. But Karela in the game they cannot afford to drop points. They won against Asante Kotoko. Yes, that's on the screen there. They won against Asante Kotoko. So that should give them enough confidence going into this one. And it's not going to be an easy game for them, especially playing Great Olympics, who have all this quality in their side at the Soga Kope Wafa Park. But and the AstroTurfs in the Abono. Karela used to the AstroTurf. They played at the Nyinase. It was an AstroTurf. They've gone to the north. They played Kotoko at the Nalegu Stadium. They are used to the AstroTurf. So it is going to be a matchup. Great Olympics train on an AstroTurf. That is why they are really comfortable playing at the Soga Kope Park. So I want to see how this one will pan out.
And the AstroTurf, the one in where Karela is playing their home games, is one of the best we've seen in this country.
Of course.
One of the best.
JB Fresh in there.
Yes,
director said or the Biba or Fridge Muntis show JB Fresh. You know they're sponsoring the show, right? Yeah. So to Bidema for Herbal, don't joke with your health. You know, go for checkup. They'll tell you exactly what's wrong with you. Not just that, give you the remedy that would help you get back to your full self. And also High Sense, everyday prices for everyday people, as well as Soccerbet. The investors know exactly what Soccerbet means to them. Let's go for a quick break. We'll be back very, very shortly. Beaten Asante Kotoko. They tripped up a little bit. Great Olympics themselves lost 3-0, surprising because they started the second round really on a good foot. We've witnessed Hearts of Oak taking on Bofuakwa. That ended 1-1. So it's an interesting venue where it's not always, it doesn't always go according to, pre-match or the expectations on paper. So Great Olympics would want to bounce back and get another 3 points on the board. But Karela, desperate to also get another 3 points. Not too sure about the starting Aero engineering, remember they motivated Olympics, I think $50,000 as well, the Japanese, plus they had another sponsor coming through for them, but they are the wonder club. On a day you bet against them, it will go against you, and then on days sometimes you think Olympics will deliver, they sometimes, to your amazement, buckle, but they should be able to get 3 points from this game.
Well, yeah, I think I hosted that game that Great Olympics played against Accra Lions. And right after the game, Kwesiedu, the CEO of Bibiani Stars, called me and said he was watching the game. He's monitored the Olympics team and he knows their strength. He knows where their biggest strength lies. He told me they were going to beat Olympics in Bibiani, and they did, because he said Olympics have their greatest strength in their midfield, where they have the likes of Kasim, the likes of Emmanuel Entry, the likes of Glassen, Awako, Ashikwe, and Christopher Neti. They form the midfield 5. He says if you are able to stop Kasim and Entry from operating, because Awako looks a bit rusty after being on the after being out of football for some time, because he has some form of dispute with Accra to Fogo. He's not really gotten into form, but that is Great Olympic greatest strength. And also, if you prevent these players from getting the ball to one man up front, that is Abdul Razak Yusuf, then you're sure you are stopping about 90% of the threats that Great Olympics carry, because that is where their greatest strength is. They play the 3-back system. So if you really want to beat Great Olympics, you have to take the game to them and try to exploit their wings, where Christopher Nete and Ashikwe will be pushing forward. If you're able to exploit that space between the midfield, then you are good to go, because Christopher Nete is not the best when it comes to his defensive abilities. He is rather good when he bombards forward. So if Karela wants to get something from this game, then they should utilize the spaces that the back three will create. Christopher Nete, Ashikwe going forward.
An all-round team, Olympics. On a good day, almost both teamwork, they are one of the best in the Ghana Premier League. But I said, sometimes some players go off. You mentioned 2 players, Ashikwe and Nete. Nete Kotoko was one of their best players.
Yeah, he was one of the best players
for the season about 2-3 seasons ago. But I said, he's not himself. And Ashikwe,
he is super talented, but sometimes he also loses concentration.
It's more
kakao. Born when him bofare. Me mesia na catch the ha. The catcher is say, oh, when born the boba ya chumi de no osre. He is one of the best players I've also seen play for Great Olympics. But again, both of them are not really great defensively, and they are attacking-minded fullbacks. So all the teams that I have seen play against Great Olympics try to use that lane, because if you go through the middle, it is very difficult. That middle channel, you cannot penetrate. Kasim woho, Entry it is really difficult to penetrate Great Olympics through the middle. So it is about going through the wings, where you can have an opportunity of crossing the ball for any of your players in the box to head in. So that is what Karela must employ, and they must be sound defensively, like what they did against Kumasi Asante Kotoko, where they try to shut all the spaces. Don't stop the midfield from operating, and you're sure of getting something against Olympics.
And the inclusion of their former striker who went away in the first round.
My goodness, he's put on a bit of weight, hasn't he? Yeah, why can I say? But still, no brains.
That is the strength or the bosses here. I joined that team no song.
Yeah. Olympics, one thing about them, and if you follow closely, only a stubborn academy, they have this attitude of they are very, very football-wise arrogant in that sense. But then, against teams that they may not consider to be in that high class, no, they sleep. I think there's that inconsistency about their attitude when they play mid-table teams, lower-tier teams, as compared to top teams, Media, Mane, Ebia, Kotoko has, Dreams FC, Eboa, they have a different approach.
Yeah, I agree. When they are facing the big teams, Omagin and what the body is different.
Why?
Smaller opposition, Subaswa, now it looks like, the mentality changes there. But I think, with the inclusion of the Yusuf guy who scored that 2 goals the last time they played at home, and the more confidence number, and Razak Kapsin as the Olympics testify on Sports Park say even the next blaster call up more Olympics players in the
8. At least 8 Great Olympics players should be in the team.
In the Blasters, surprise. So it tells you they have belief in their team that might be in the Ghana Premier League, but they have players who are matured in the local scene. Tested about 3 or 4 teams in the local scene, so very experienced in the local scene. So again, we are made to get the maximum win against Karela.
Yeah, one person who barely gets the praise for Great Olympics is their goalkeeper. Benjamin Asari.
Yeah.
He's been brilliant for them. He's kept about
so far
12. Yeah, he's the best. He's kept about 12 clean sheets. Until I said to Sebeka Chose, and Kayedeneko Afcon, he thinks he was better than all the goalkeepers that we sent to the Afcon. He's one of the best on the local scene, and he together with the back three of Ebenezer Setre, have been the main reason why Great Olympics have kept more clean sheets. There you see him on the screens there, keeping 12 clean sheets at the moment.
With
that is
reference
huge.
to what you've said,
yeah.
Jurgen Klopp interview, Umubisani say, I don't know, I'll take such gamble with these so-called academy boys. And I'll say, and you all know, but boys know. They have it, but it's just for him to tell them,
of course.
So the players have it, but the confidence of a coach to say, I have the confidence in you, that is where a lot of coaches don't have sad guts.
You know, we produce at the two TV national. You can see Olympics goalkeeper has done a great job. 12 clean sheets. So far, about 20 games. So it's more than half of the games we've played in the Ghana Premier League so far.
But
We were complaining about that. It looks like we don't have goalkeeping problem in this country as it stands now.
Goalkeeping problem.
We don't. But it's one thing having a good goalkeeper or good goalkeepers, and it's another one transforming them into world-class keepers in matches, in tournaments. You know, psychology, different. You need to work on them.
And I think the transformation also deals with giving them the opportunity to showcase what they can do. When was the last time the senior national team went for any major tournament and who say a locally based goalkeeper and a team in like one of the games? I would them fully. So it's not that easy. The transformation starts with giving them opportunity, giving them call-ups to also showcase what they've done. So, you think any Black Stars call-up that we do, one of the slots for the goalkeeper, one of the goalkeeping slots should be left for locally based goalkeeper.
If you're a free 4 or 3, one of them should be for local.
I am not for that. I think that if the goalkeeper is good enough, he should be in the end. This is Benjamin Asari has made a case for himself.
Yeah, I think with Nana Idu's issue, it's about your football DNA and your national policy in developing your game. The idea is that local players, and including the goalkeepers, confidence and motivation. Say, okay, if I do well this season, I may be called. That is actually a huge motivation for them. But they know whether or
that
not.
If you perform, you will get the call up. It is a huge motivation. It pushes the player to go to the next level, to do his best. But Obona, I'll be putting it up in the best. Now you're a friend or not. It even derails their morale.
And then it also sells your domestic football league to the rest of the world. Yeah, but AFCON, obviously, when a goalkeeper is, the commentators will mention, yes, this goalkeeper is from Great Olympics, he's played for this, he comes from Teshi. It's football marketing.
Like Dan Lad going to the World Cup.
Football branding. But we need to be on board, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, like this former Indiana goalkeeper who went to the 2014 World Cup. Steven Adams.
Right. That kind of thing. But at that level, it's all more with that confidence that whatever it is, you'll be able to push them up. Karela could pose problems for Great Olympics if they also put up a good game as they did against Asante Kotoko. We saw a very good team play. And Fatal,
and in fact, their goalkeeper was great.
Yeah, former Hearts captain.
The good old Fatal.
Yeah, absolutely. A former Hearts captain should be able to lead them over a lot of experience, and he'll be able to play his role this afternoon.
Yeah, when you look at Fatal's influence in this, Karela team, after House of Folk, we improve as a player, and I think change of environment has brought the best out of, Fatal Mohammed in this Karela team, and it's one thing that is helping them. But one thing I want to mean is the influence of Abubakar Damba. Karela was one of the teams that I made TPM to go to relegation. But after watching them against Kotoko in the FA Cup, watching them against Kotoko in the Ghana Premier League, me realizing who say Damba's handwriting on the team is top and it's helping the Karela team. They are playing some good football. And I never acquire Damba's strength as a goalkeeper. You can see that thing in their goalkeeper or them against Kotoko. The goalkeeping department is sorted and have some few players technically they are gifted.
A lot of work. Now, there's one thing that runs through away matches. They have problems. They have a lot of problems, so they need to find a way out. They
need to work out for their away performance. At least, if they're able to get all their wins at home, and 1 or 2 away wins, I'm sure the Karela team have seen in recent, especially their game against Kotoko, that team need to survive in the Ghana Premier League.
Survivor will be difficult. Yeah, looking at the last 5 away matches with a lot of L's going into this one. It is not going to be easy for them because Great Olympics lost their last game. And for a team that lost their last game, they would be looking at getting back quickly as possible to winning ways. So, the last 2 games have not produced any goals. I hope this one will produce goals to entertain us because 0-0 no very boring. Their last 2 games have all ended goalless, which is not good enough. With the way Great Olympics are playing, definitely we are going to see a goal. A lot of creative players in their midfield, Emmanuel Entry and also Glass in Awako. One thing Karela should also not do in this game, is commit fouls in and around the 18-yard area because Great Olympics have 2 experts in their team who can hit the ball from any angle to score. Emmanuel Entry has been brilliant. He scored about 3 free kicks in the Ghana Premier League this season. Glasson Awako is also another dead ball specialist that you don't want in and around the 18-yard. So Karela should not commit fouls around the D. If not, they would be severely punished. But I think Great Olympics will have the upper hand over Karela going into the game, considering the fact that they lost their last game against Gold Stars and will want to get back to winning ways.
I mean, you're talking about leadership and experience, and if Abubakar
Alhaji Fadi Fatah has sent a message, meaning, or say Olympics 2, Karela 0.
Okay.
Yeah.
But when we watch Olympics and Karela, a match be a type produce draw, a tired draw. Olympics and Haas. It looks like a move back open Olympics a winning one. But when the 2 teams meet, the likely results between the 2 teams is a 4-time draw.
Now, let me be not a lot of goals are scored. It's always very tight.
So that is a head-to-head in the last 5 games. Olympics a winning back 4, Karela a winning back 4. 3.
They are coming a draw, and it's very tight between the 2 of them. You talk about leadership and the absence of Arno Walker, the presence of Abubakar Damba. You know, sometimes when you have that figurehead there, assistant players and so more psychology and the way they play. And Damba seems to have that influence as, you know, Arno Walker used to have.
Well, I'm still looking at Abubakar Damba and I'm telling myself, is it the bounce of a new coach? When a new coach comes in, players want to respond by showing the coach that I'm good enough. It was the previous coach that was not using me well, so give me the opportunity. I'm looking at that. It will take about 5-6 games for me to actually or properly judge Abubakar Damba as a top coach for Karela, but he started on a brilliant note. Beating Asante Kotoko is not an easy feat. Not just any Asante Kotoko side, but the side that are being coached by Prosper Nateogum, someone who has won the Premier League before. But you look at Great Olympics, and in terms of experience, they are also not missing much, even though Arno Walker is not there. Remember, Jimmy Kobler has played second fiddle to Arno Walker some time back at the club. He was the assistant coach of the Great Olympics team, so he also knows the ins and outs of Great Olympics. He also comes with rich vein of knowledge because he's been around for a long time in the Ghana Premier League. So it is going to be 2 experienced heads coming together, but who comes up tactically? I think Jimmy Kobler has a slight edge over
Bashir Hayford, Kase, and Frama, and people were mocking him. But thank you very much. Absolutely.
But then when he said it, speak to people in Sugakope this morning on Sports Park 89.7. He spoke to Josiah and he was talking about the wind.
Okay, not there was a word to use. They were social media
mocking.
No, there's a word. Trolling,
okay.
Say or same fragment no lose here, but it is there.
Yeah.
So if you're playing, anyway, talking about that, let's hear from the coaches. They're already at pitch side.
After that 3-0 defeat all the way at BBNE, you are back home again. Coach, how prepared are you and your team coming at the back of that huge defeat?
Well, I think that day it's one of those things. Nothing went well for us. Everything was okay for them. You could see the day was for them because it does not go with the scoreline at all. But we are back. And as you can see, we've made some few changes. and we believe that this team is going to give us the 3 points today.
Talking about the changes you've made, 5 changes to the starting lineup that started away at BBNE. Are those changes based on poor performance or it's just purely tactical?
Not at all, purely tactical. I mean, the platform will tell you the kind of pillars you should use, and that's all I can say.
Coach, in this second round, Great Olympics look like a rejuvenated side. Only Hearts of Oak has picked up more points than Great Olympics.
Sure.
How are you looking at continuing with that superb form?
It will go well. It will go well. As I told you, that game is in Bubiani. Nobody understands. We do not understand because we'll be playing. They will pick the ball and kick, and we'll just go and pick it from our net. I mean, they will kick the fleshy. It's a goal. Even the second goal, our own player kicked the ball into our net. So sometimes it's happened in the game, and we pray that bit of luck, which helps him to win their games, will happen to us today.
Finally, you are coming up against a side that won against Asante Kotoko, one of the giants in the league. How do you intend to break them down?
We'll bring them down, my brothers. We'll bring them down. We'll bring them down. How do we call it? The same way Heart of Lions beat Kotoko, everybody was making noise about it. But it's not about that, it's about tactics. And I tell you, today, we'll take our 3 points.
All right, Coach. Wish you all the best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Coach, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
After beating Asante Kotoko a couple of days ago, you are back, or you've traveled all the way down to Sogakope to play against Great Olympics, one of the informed teams in the second round. How are you going to approach this game, Coach?
Well, you talked about Kotoko. That was last week. Kotoko is gone. It's now Great Olympics. So I believe very strongly that we are very much aware of the kind of form and shape that Olympics is in. We have also prepared adequately, mentally and physically, for the tasks ahead. So as the game unfolds, I believe everybody will judge for themselves. But I believe that we are adequately prepared.
Coach, how cognizant is your side with regards to playing here? Because we saw the surface you used against Kotoko. It's similar to this one. So do you think you play your hands?
Well, I must say playing on the AstroTurf is part of the game. So we are privy to, these facilities to train on the AstroTurf. And we also play our games, home games on AstroTurfs. So it is not a new thing altogether. I believe that we can manage the situation.
Teams have come here and they've complained about the speed of the wind, which normally do not favor them. Do you think today you have a tactics that could, even aid that to play to your advantage?
Talking of the wind, it is a natural phenomenon that nobody controls. The only thing is to control how you want to play. It is strategic. It's about strategy. And how are we going to do it? Circumstances, situation will determine that.
Finally, just one change to the side that won against Kotoko. What accounted for that change?
I must say I had an injury complaint. That particular player, Maxwell Arthur, was substituted in the second half because he had a toe strain and all that. So we've brought in an equally good replacement, and I believe that we are good to go.
All right, Coach. Wishing you all the best of luck.
Thank you so much.
Yep, Josiah Okokwe at pitch side talking to Coach Abu Akari Damba and Jimmy Kobler. It's interesting when you hear those two. They've got a nice way of communicating their thoughts, but listening to them, you really can't see how they will approach it tactically. They're all talking about, Jimmy Kobler said it was a bad game, nothing went their way, wasn't a reflection of their performance, but you sense that he wants to put that right. Damba says, forget about Kotoko. We won. Yes, 3 points, but so that's another attitude, and they would want to do it again. What's the point of beating Kotoko?
If you lose to Great Olympics, I mean, those are the truths that will come out. That what shall profit a team
Karela benefit
from beating Kotoko and losing to Great Olympics? Of course, they are waiting to see that already via money or more.
Your time has to. Quick prediction.
I think Great Olympics will win this one.
2-0 win for Olympics.
Okay, let's go to pitch side.
Hello everyone and welcome. This is the Wafa Park here in Sogakope, where this afternoon we're bringing you our continuing coverage of the Ghana Premier League. This afternoon, the agenda is a match day 1 fixture between Accra Great Olympics and Karela United Football Club. Two teams that will be in battle this afternoon and lay claim to supremacy by the end of 90 minutes. My name is Prince and I'm here with Josiah, and together we shall let you in on exactly what to expect in the game when the hostilities begin. But it's been a very, very nice weather here. Not too hot, just a little bit above warm. And so this should be good enough for the players and officials as they come onto the field to do a battle against each other. Once again, if you've just joined us, many thanks for doing that. We are coming to you from the Wafa Park in Sogakope, where this afternoon it's the blue and white colors of Accra Great Olympics who dare the might of Karela United Football Club.
Prince, good afternoon, and just like you said, tough game, crunch one coming up at Great Olympics against Karela United. Great Olympics, their last game away at Bibiani was nothing to write home about, so draining. It was such a rigorous game for them after they were put to the sword by 3-0. But then for Karela, I believe they'll be coming into this one with their hopes and confidence so high after paping Kumasi Asante Kotoko in the last game they played all the way in Nare-Lugu. So it looks like contrasting, forms and confidence, if I should put it, going into this one, Great Olympics, and also Karela United going head-to-head. Prince, if you should ask me.
Officials are just about ready, so we'll walk through the exchange of friendlies in between these two sides. We definitely will be letting you in on the first 11 for both sides and what kind of formation they will be playing here today. Let's start off first with the home side, Accra Great Olympics. Jimmy James Kobler believes that a 4-3-3 formation should do him a whole world of good. So the likes of Gladson Awako, Albert Amwa will be the chaps to look out for. They will be supported by Michael Osei up front, but Abednego Asafo, Ebenezer Setre, Christopher Nakai Nete, Razak Kasim will all be the ironclad defensemen who will be supporting the midfield as they push forward. Let's cross over now to the Karela side. They say they've got pride and passion, and so coach Abukari Damba Abdul Rahman believes that a steady team will do him a lot of good. He's maintained the men who did the job against Kotoko. He's just made one change. Jibril Nuruddin has come in to join the team, but Giasu Ibrahim, he got the goal against Kotoko, is in the starting lineup. Solomon Abuaji will bring a lot of force. Emmanuel Anafol will also ensure that the flanks are full of activity. And of course, Captain Abdul Fatau will also stay strong. Abukari Damba Abdul Rahman believes that the Kotoko game is done and dusted. He now has to concentrate on beating his very good friend, Jimmy James Kobler. Let's go through the toss of the coin proceedings. Abdul Fatah Muhammad is the captain for Karela United on your right. And as usual, it's Abdul Razak Kasim for Accra Great Olympics. Officials for this afternoon's encounter, James Taylor will be the man in the middle, will be supported on lines 1 by Theophilus Akugre, who's a FIFA referee, and then Peter Dosa will be on the second lines, a Class 1 official. The fourth official is Maxwell Hansen. And our match commissioner is Williams Gidiglo. So all is just about set for hostilities to begin here at the Wafa Park. Final prayers will be set by both sides. Karela in the predominant red outfit this afternoon. And it is Accra Great Olympics, the Wonder Club they call themselves. The traditional blue and white are the colors of the day. Interesting game this will be. Accra Great Olympics in 9th position. They could have climbed up a few notches, but by virtue of the fact that they lost heavily against BBN Gold Stars, it brought them back. Orlando Lante Wellington is the assistant coach for Accra Great Olympics. Is the assistant to Jimmy James Kobler. And let's see how the permutation will work. On the bench for Accra Great Olympics this evening, by the way, is their team manager George Al-Hassan, and there's Petit Gladson Awako. His return to Accra Great Olympics is supposed to signify a great relief for the midfield offensively for Accra Great Olympics. There's Benjamin Nasari. Prior to the game against Bibiani Gold Stars, he had the longest clean sheet. Had to pick up 3 footballs from his net, unfortunately. James Taylor is the man in control, and he blows his whistle for the game to start. Karela will be playing from right to left. First touch by Jibril, first touch by Mohamed Awal Al-Hassan. Nothing came out of that. Long crossing by Karela is the first opportunity. Accra Great Olympics will be called upon to defend, and this they will defend and do well. Here's Jibril. Jibril tries to go around Amwa.
Yeah, and already Karela United trying to dominate play. Jibril, he has made a team ahead of Maxwell Atta, who picked up an injury. And that's how they would love to control this game from the onset, at least try to put Great Olympics on the back foot.
Yes, they are under some amount of pressure, Accra Great Olympics. No opportunities there. So Great Olympics would have an opportunity to push forward. Fans were yearning for the return of Michael Osei. Fortunately, he's back on the field of play. Lot will be expected from him as the ball goes over the line again.
No. What's this?
Michael is not too happy the decision didn't go to Accra Great Olympics, but Karela will say thank you very much and reorganize themselves as they come forward. And this is where the threat on the right-hand side, the likes of Abdul Fatau, will be brought to bear. Here's Emmanuel Anafo. Lovely chip forward. Doesn't go nowhere. And reorganization by Accra Great Olympics from behind.
Yeah, good intention from Emmanuel Anafo already. You know, early doors, but you can see what he's trying to do. Great Olympics always leaving spaces in behind, and such long balls could just, catch them unaware. Then they just have to be aware, because when they played a couple of weeks ago here against Heart of Lions, they tried that one, but then fortunately for Great Olympics, they always came out clean.
Michael Osei going down. Heavy tumble it was, but he's up on his feet. The fighter that he is definitely will continue. And in his absence, the likes of Yusuf Abdul Razak, who got the 2 goals against Heart of Lions, will be glad to start warming up and join his colleagues on the field of play. This is Karela on the offensive. Trying to come through the middle now. Link man for Karela this afternoon will be Abdul Latif on the right, together with Awal on the left-hand side of their attack. Long ball, and this is headed out by Oko Gripman Nakaineti. Jibril will not give him an opportunity. That's Ibrahim Diaz, scorer of that important goal against Asante Kotoko.
And that's how you see how confident they are after beating Asante Kotoko, the goal scorer Giasu, leading the press on the occasion.
Ball control by Gias, but he overdoes it. Gladson Awako says thank you very much. Accra Great Olympics on the offensive. Short-lived there from Anafo. And then they continue with the attack. This time is from the right-hand side. Cross is expectant. Abdul Fatau try to push through the 18-yard box as they come through. That's the cross. No opportunities. So at least Karela are trying to, lay that imprint into the game very early.
Yeah, and you can see the way they are trying to, push Great Olympics further backwards. They're pinning them to their own 18-yard box, not allowing them any spaces. And the pressing is already working, led by Giasu and his colleague.
An opportunity for Gias. Well, he had his eye on target. It's just a delivery.
The press we spoke about earlier on, moments ago, and then it's Benjamin Asari who commits again, just gives that on a platter to Gias, who strikes that from distance.
That's going to put Accra Great Olympics under some amount of pressure. It's a corner kick, the first from the left-hand side of the attack of Karela. And it's Captain Abdul Fatau Mohammed who's gone across to effect that. Coming up from behind with support is Mohammed Awal Al-Hassan.
Great Olympics will have to be on the alert over here. This was a similar situation. Karela got themselves in front in that game against Asante Kotoko.
The Looks like they have another opportunity, another corner kick.
They're full of confidence now, Karela United. And you'd have to be on an alert. Always try and, pick those players. Go for the man like marking over there.
It fizzles out, but trying to control the ball on that occasion was Abdul Latif. He failed. Christopher Neti got the better of him. And it's now Accra Great Olympics who charge forward. Risk run by Albert Amwa. Unfortunately, he overhits that. Gives the advantage to the most valuable player in that game against Kotoko, goalkeeper Ganiyu Mohamed Abdul. 5 minutes gone in the first half here at Sogakope. Is goalless between Great Olympics and Karela United. Abdul Fattah pushes it forward, but unfortunately, poor balancing, just could not take the advantage of it. A few of the Accra Great Olympics fans have made their way from Accra to witness this game, by the way. Definitely will be hearing a lot of the drumming from them. They have a Pan Logo group that travels with the team almost everywhere they go. Football control laid down nicely. Christopher Nettis passed through the middle. Michael Osei was out of position. Returned by Jibril, brings it to the near side. Kept it playing nicely. Azak, the captain of Accra Great Olympics, takes over. Looks like referee noticed an infringement.
Yeah, I think it was a late nudge. Yeah, that passes to space, the press from Kasim trying to win the ball, but then you can see the contact that was being made by Solomon Abuaje. I think it was the earlier foul that the referee had to call for.
Yeah. Asigri Suleimana, one of the bright young players for Karela. Had a lot of playing time since he was transferred from Steadfast, and he has not disgraced himself. Oko Gripman's pass to the far side. Accra Great Olympics staying tight at the back. Oako finds Setre. Game slowing down a bit in this first 7 minutes. Karela will say thank you very much as they pick it up, and then it's Asigri who lays on the pass. Good ball control by Fattah, keeping his players at bay, holding them in check, trying to create the loopholes around Accra Great Olympics and step forward. Long ball towards enemy territory. Clearance was not the best from Mohamed. And it looks like Amwa has won a free kick advantage for Great Olympics.
Good job done, Amwa. Showed so much tenacity. The ball came off, that part of his body, but then he still stayed on his feet. And it was, the defender that just caught him late with that challenge.
Quick organization by Ganiyu. Awako is behind the ball as Godfrey Isiama walks away. Free kick to Olympics. Awako drills it in. Kept him playing nicely, but there's no challenge. And eventually Karela get themselves out of danger zone. That was a tackle on Solomon Abuaje.
Ken Abednego Asafo doing the recovery over there. A nice recovery job from left back position. You can see where already he's traveled to, trying to keep up with the press, doing some good recovery jobs over there.
Ball goes over the line. That's Ibrahim Giaz. He'd love to score again, but he's got a block in front of him in Christopher Neti. The two go at each other once again. Ball goes over the line. Eventually, both players take a tumble.
believe this a matchup we could be enjoying for the rest of the game. Christopher Nete, not the bulkiest of players, but then very, very pacey. Very, very good at both ends, defensively and also offensively, with so much experience also, Christopher Nete.
Since his early days at the Godwin Atram Devisa Academy, he has really built himself up and made it all the way to the top where he featured for the senior national team. There's Michael Osei. Private Olympics have got options. They only have one player in the 18-yard box so far. It's Michael Osei. Does well to get the opportunity. And Accra Olympics come up with a corner kick.
That's what he adds to their game, Michael Osei. Very industrious. With that skill, just fizzles past the defender. Just sends one direct ball inside. But then it was the first touch that was lacking. A better first touch would have been dangerous for Karela United.
Corner kick to Olympics. Holding not the best is headed away. Football control, good turn by Abuaji. Trying to set that Supri up. Sigri Sulemana obviously has a lot of work to do. Razak Kasim covers the ground effortlessly. 11 minutes gone. Still goalless here at the Wafa Park in Sogakope. Match day 21.
Alright, what a torrid time Michael Osei is giving to the defense of Karela United. That's what he's about. And then a good ball from Asafo. Just look at how he turns, trying to accelerate, but then three players have been covered over there. That's a